so angry. You kept going. You went off screen.
No, I didn't go off screen. It's
There.
bullshit.
Oh no, and now it's shut down.
No, this is
Sarah,
not fair.
you are already ruining everything.
No.
What is going on? Why is my hat still on? That's what I want to know. Are we on? Are we on?
Yeah, we are live. So everybody, the first question is, can you hear us?
Yes, please. Let me know if you can hear us.
We're trying something very different this time. We have no idea if it's gonna work.
Hopefully they can hear us. I don't see any responses yet.
First we have a woo, here we go from systems.
That's always nice.
But we don't
That's
know.
always
Yes,
a good...
we can hear you. Yay!
Welcome to Rebel Base! Is there music playing? I don't even know what I'm doing in my life anymore. There we go. Hey! There is music playing. Hey! Yeah! Welcome to Rebel Base. Today we are broadcasting from the PlayStation 4 Playroom with the AR Studio. So...
yeah, so things are different and weird and new, and we don't really know.
But we did find out that we could get cat heads, and that's, you know, really, that's what matters.
That's all that matters, ever. That's all that ever matters. So, in case you're new here, new to town, we are Rebel Base. We are two crazy cat ladies that talk about gaming and comics and superhero movies and anything else we feel like. And I'm Sarah the Rebel.
And I'm Catrina!
How are you, though?
I am, actually. I turned this music off. Hey!
There was music playing? Oh.
There was apparently music playing. I don't know if, maybe
Look at my scared cat face because Twitch is the devil and I don't want us to get in trouble.
No! Well, it was the pre-programmed music. So,
right.
I mean, if you can, I know, but if you can, I don't know how to get rid of these
masks. Look, girl, stop
Sarah.
tapping this shit. You're rocking the camera.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to get rid of the masks. How do I get rid of them? Oh no, it's back.
For the honor of Grayskull.
Jesus Christ.
I am not a cat. Not a cat. Not a cat.
Maybe I just need to turn it off for now. Hold on.
Don't make me a cat. Don't make me a cat.
I'm trying to unmake cat issues.
Unmake my cat.
I'm still a fucking cat.
You know they say don't make that facial stay that way? Yes, so today, so we should actually tell you what the format is before jumping into what we're doing today. So we generally have two main sections. We talk about news, what's going on in the world of comics and video games, and then we have a main topic of discussion, and then we have our chick picks at the very end, where we recommend things that we think you should check out today. Catrina is leaving.
Alright, it's gone. There we go. We're gonna learn how to use Playroom, guys, I promise. But until then, thank you for dealing with us.
Stop tapping that shit.
I'm not okay. I'm
gonna
take it off of the table. Okay, welcome to Rebel Base. Welcome. Hi.
We've said welcome 4 times.
You should tell them what the show's about.
I just fucking told them what the show was about. You were too busy smacking at your cat face. So
okay,
we're off to a really great start. We decided to try out Playroom because we could do fun things like this thing right here. Watch, if I smack him enough, he drops it. He's a stupid weak pussy. So let us know afterwards what your experience is, and feel free to tweet that you're watching right now and use hashtag #RebelBase. And we'll send you
Rebel Base
hugs and kisses. Where is the confetti? You promised me confetti.
I'm
You're
sorry.
not doing your job, Catrina.
Look, you're telling me to do so many things at once.
You're right. I'm putting a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure
so
to me.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah! Oh my god! It's a mess! I don't know what to do anymore!
I don't like
it's
it.
Too much
Stop
joy!
it.
Okay. Oh!
So...
Welcome to the PlayStation Playroom. We're using it now.
Anyway, we should really get to the point very quickly. So the first news we're going to talk about is Marvel's anti-bullying covers. Take it away, Confetti Girl!
It won't go away.
Just tell them about the...
Hi! It's time for Marvel news. This past week, Marvel released some covers for an anti-bullying campaign, which is pretty cool. There are covers with Captain America, the Hulk, Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, and a lot of other really cool and awesome superheroes, and they're basically just doing the little things that you can do to prevent bullying, and it's another
like melting people with your eyelid. Wait, is that not?
It's another positive message, especially after that Spider-Woman booty debacle.
Spider-Woman booty debacle. I was...
We gotta have, I don't know, we should have had music with that, but, so, also, there was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, also in Marvel news, just something to keep in mind in less news. Since the next movie is coming out in May, Marvel's patterns are to release trailers in October. So, my belief is that it's going to come out next month, the trailer, and hopefully it will drop at New York Comic Con, where I will be doing things and stuff back east once again. So excited.
Things and stuff is not actually a descriptor. Anyway, so that's really cool. The next thing we're going to talk about is The Rock. Dwayne Johnson is going to be playing Black Adam.
Yay!
In the upcoming movie Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Have they officially decided his name is Shazam now in the movie?
Yes, and they are continuing. Basically, the movieverse is a kind of like spin-off universe of the New 52. So he is Shazam. He is not Captain Marvel
or Captain Thunder. Don't know why anyone in the comments would ever suggest that.
Thunder, that's so stupid. It's stupid. You're stupid.
You're stupid. That's bullying.
Next up, the Samsung VR was announced this past week. You can basically, it's a virtual reality headset that you can plug into your Galaxy Note 4 or apparently, hopefully soon, other Samsung devices. And you can play games and watch movies and get there are these cool 3D experiences that they're developing for it. So I'm really excited because it's going to coincide again with the release of the Avengers, and you can go into Tony Stark's lab and have
Can
a 3D...
I go into Loki's bedroom?
No. You can go into Tony Stark's lab and have a 3D experience, but there's also...
It's not the 3D experience I want.
The Pacific Rim Jaeger pilot simulator.
Don't try to talk through my sexism.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
The pilot simulator that was at SDCC is one of the things that you can get on this VR, and... Excuse you?
The dog just poured outside of my window.
Rude. And it's cool. You can pilot a Jaeger, and so they're developing more stuff for that, and I'm really excited because that's VR technology on the go.
Yeah.
And I'm all about more developments for mobile. I want to be able to carry my life with me. Always.
I'd be way more interested if we could go into Loki's bedroom. Oh, I was in Loki's bedroom. You should have seen me. Y'all probably don't know Barbara's Bedroom. It's a really old song. Look it up. It's pretty interesting. So, Big Hero 6. I think this is also in your...
Yes. So Big Hero 6, we got a bunch of new clips and trailers.
Wait, are there 6 heroes?
There are 6 heroes, and one of them is Big. So, this movie is near and dear to my heart because this is going to interview for this movie, interviewing the directors and producers. It was my first time going to Disney Studios, and I found out that every time they develop a new movie, they hole out the interior of the offices and they recreate set pieces from the movies to inspire the writers and artists and
stuff.
stuff.
Like it would annoy the crap out of me.
It's so cool. And the setting of the movie is in San Francisco, which is this combination between Tokyo and San Francisco, but it looks a lot like Neo Tokyo to me instead, but not as apocalyptic.
I'm just happy they didn't call it Neo Tokyo.
Yeah. No, that's...
Hey, also, because of the shape of this helmet, I have an echo in my ears.
Oh! Ah!
Stop it. You're the worst. Why would you do that to me? So I don't know how loud I'm being right now. That's how I feel. Yeah, I saw connecting shit.
No, I'm reconnecting shit. I like it because it's based off of a Marvel title, but it's not exactly like that particular title. And it's got a deliciously diverse cast.
Deliciously diverse. You heard it
here. One white person. And I don't even know that she's white, honestly. She looks a little tan to me, and nobody's heard her say shit, so she could easily be like an Islander or Hispanic or we don't fucking know. America Ferrera's voicing her, so
that's exciting. Yeah, it's very interesting.
So super cool.
Yes.
Yay.
Next up is more video game stuff. So Dragon Age Inquisition is going to have a multiplayer. They just announced it this week, and they have really impressed me. I'm very excited. I'm trying to contain like my fangirlism right now because I read the wiki for 6 hours today because I need Dragon Age right now. I need it in my mouth. I'm trying to like keep that out of this. So the multiplayer looks really cool. I've actually wanted a multiplayer for Dragon Age since I played Dragon Age Origins all those years ago. I was like, do you know how much more fun this would be if I could like bring friends into this? And now finally, probably through EA's pushing, they're gonna do it. Now let me tell you why I'm not nervous. A lot of people were nervous about Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. They were like, this is gonna suck. We don't want a multiplayer. Blah 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 blah. Mass Effect 3's multiplayer ended up being ridiculously addictively fun to the point where I put it back in my PS3 like 3 weeks ago, and there were matches to join.
Right.
Like people are still playing that game. And they do a really good job of balancing, like, you can either pay for things or you can grind for things, and the grinding doesn't feel like impossible. So I do enjoy that they're not forcing you to buy anything, they're not forcing you to play multiplayer, and they're not making it an intrinsic part of the game. What it looks like, for anyone who didn't read the article or see the information on it, what it looks like is you, as the Inquisition leader, are going to be like, okay, so I want to take over this place. Okay, would you like to send in your scouts to go take it over? You say, yep, want to send in my scouts. Now, if you play multiplayer, you now play the role of one of those scouts, and your friends play the role of the other scouts, and you go off and you do this mission that overall helps with the Inquisition. So, sounds really fun and interesting. I can't wait to see more on that. They also just announced Skyhold, which is going to be your little castle that you live in. It sounds like they finally got why the Normandy worked for Mass Effect, and they're going to apply that to this game, because one of the problems with Dragon Age 2 is they tried to make Kirkwall your Normandy, and Kirkwall is a city. It cannot be your spaceship. That's way too small. Unless your city travels with you, like, it just didn't work. So now your castle is going to be personalized. You're going to be able to decorate it the way you want. It's going to adjust and grow as you complete missions and get new allies. So it looks really awesome, and I need Dragon Age right now, not in November. What are you doing? What are you doing? Now. Now.
Winter is often a time when wonderful things happen, but then you have to wait until winter for them. Like Star Wars coming out next year. Which, by the way, kind of derailing this just a little bit.
Can we get through a single podcast without talking about Star Wars? No, we can't.
No, we can't. Okay, look. So there are some leaks that came out, and it's, again, this is all up in the air. These are things that, like, people are saying from sources, but there are 3 main characters in the new films, apparently, and 2 of them are offsprings of our heroes, and the main character, who's played by Daisy Ridley, is Han and possibly Leia's daughter. Better be Leia's daughter.
Better be
fucking Leia's daughter. And then
be so mad.
There is a stormtrooper that comes along with them, and then the third one is rumored to be Lando's child. Now, the reason I am excited for this is that so far there are 4 women of color on the cast, of varying degrees of color, and
different shades.
And at least 2 of them look a lot like Billy D. Williams, who is not announced for this movie yet. So that's I'm just kind of sad about that. But
he's old as hell.
He is old as hell, but he's working on Star Wars Rebels, so we'll see what happens. I don't know, but that would be fucking wonderful if this movie was led by Han Solo and Lando Calrissian's daughters. And on top of that, it would be super cool because 2/3 of the trio would be people of color.
Yeah, it will probably be the only thing that could get me excited for this upcoming movie because, as you all know, I'm a Capricorn, I live in the past, I already know who Han and Leia's kids are, I already know who Luke's kids are, I know who the great-great-grandchild of Han is, like, I don't need all this new bullshit erase it by canon.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be like the only way to get me to care again. Unlike Catrina, my heart has been broken.
Yes.
Broken in two.
Luckily, you can break my heart 1 billion times, and I will still find a way to be happy.
Different
for
personalities.
Now. I don't know.
Kind of a lot
Deep
to
down,
do
I'm
with our
very
relationships.
cynical. I promise. There's a dark place somewhere.
There's a dark place
There's a dark
inside
place
of me.
that I go to and be sad.
This is not the time or the place to discuss your terrifying mutant abilities. You know, that's the dark place she goes to when she thinks of killing Emma Frost. Yes. She's like, oh, you know when I turn into the bitch that wants to kill Emma Frost? I'm in my dark place.
Telekinesis choke.
Guys.
Force choke. Alright, go on, I'm sorry.
But somebody's talking about Han Solo so old. Harrison Ford, excuse me. His name is
Yeah, of course he's old.
Billy D, have you seen him dance? He was like that. He can't even walk. Like, that man is old. I'm sorry. I love Billy D. Did y'all know I used to think Billy D was my daddy? Have we talked about that on the podcast?
No, you've never told me that.
My father, you know, same skin tone, had a mustache, had curly hair, like big curls, just like Billy D. Williams. So, in some of his roles. So, I thought, when I saw Star Wars for the first time, that my dad was an actor. And that was my father. I was very young. You can't judge me. But to this day, I actually hold a very special, sweet place in my heart for Billy D. Williams because my very first thought when I saw him is my daddy.
That's my daddy.
And they have very similar personalities, like the Cult 45 personality.
Cool.
Not cool.
Sorry,
so yeah,
no.
thanks for hijacking the video game discussion to talk more, you blabbermouth.
I wanted to get that out because the video game discussion is the last thing before the main topic. I'm sorry, keep going, keep
What
going.
kind of friend are you?
Go on.
So Sims 4 came out, and I've been reading the reviews, and they seem like they don't all agree with each other. So I'm not really sure. I mean, personally, I think I'm right, of course. And my personal opinion is that they took away a lot of the things that we've gotten from past sim games, and they've completely redone the create a sim and the build, your house. Those two features look really amazing. I saw them in a demo. They look exciting. They look like they work. I still was unable to create myself and create a character on Sims. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I found no way to make anything that looked anything like me. So that made me really sad because I can make myself in The Sims 3. And they now have loading screens again, and it's not open world, and there are no pools, and there are no toddlers. I'm very concerned. I feel like they took some missteps, and maybe they put this game out too soon. So the reviews are mixed, though. Some people say they really like it, so it depends on what you want out of the game. If you really like seeing your Sims' emotions and personalities, and if you really like the creation and the building part of it, I think you will really love Sims 4. Otherwise, you may want to wait until all their closest DLC is released before getting the game. Infamous First Light came out. That is, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a standalone game based on a character from Second Son, Fetch, whose power is this beautiful freaking light cascade of joy. She's like the Flash, but neon purple. It's so pretty. Okay, anyway, sorry. She's a drug addict. And it is supposed to be 5 hours long, but some of the reviews I saw said it felt way shorter to them, like 3 hours to beat it. So again, this is a game where it depends on what you wanted. Some people say you should only get it if you're a diehard fan. Some people say the best way to play it is if you never played any of the Infamous games. Some people say it's too short. Some people say it's a perfectly small amount. Again, weird mix. Usually reviews are pretty much the same, so I find it interesting. But it sounds like if you want to run around and be the Flash, and you don't mind spending money on a game that is very short, that you should play it. Don't Starve Giants Edition came out for Vita. I wanted to tell you guys all about this, but I lost my charging cable for my Vita. I haven't been able to find it, and so yeah, I haven't played it yet. But I'm very excited, and I'll update you as soon as I play it. Oh, what are these stars?
What?
Nothing.
Stars somewhere.
Destiny comes out on the 9th, and I think I'll get it to play it with friends. But so far, everything I'm hearing about it sounds exactly like what it felt like from the beta. It doesn't really seem like it's going to have the best story. But other than that, really solid gameplay. So that's all the video game news. Let me check the chat and see if we missed anything. I'm sure a lot of kids think Billy D is their dad. Yes. Cult 45 really did work every time. Which I haven't played yet. Sims 3 is great, Kelsey. You should really check it out. Katie, don't drive. What?
Oh, I'm not driving. Hi, Dad, again. One of our most faithful viewers.
Every time you hit a star, a Sony exec smacks a homeless person in Japan. That's really not funny.
Wow.
You're horrible.
That's bad.
Kelsey, the gameplay isn't hard. You need to man up. You point, you shoot, boom, dead. It's way easier when you play with somebody. Sexually. I'm just kidding. Play with them in your team, and you don't have to know somebody to play with them. Just walk up to somebody and just join their group. The first time it happened to me, I was standing there looking at all my options, and I got smacked out of the options screen. And I was like, who's hitting me? And I put down my screen, and there's a person just slapping me to get my attention. And then he, like, walks a little bit, he comes back, he walks a little bit, comes back. I'm like, you want to hang out. So we hung out for the rest of the day, and it was a lot less scary to kill things with somebody by my side. Just point and shoot, Kelsey. It's very simple. Breathe. Pull the trigger.
So it's time.
Wait, do we have a noise? Do we have glitter?
I think we have a noise.
Wait, we might have a visual effect.
I don't know if I can. Do we want a music or a visual effect? Because this is going to be. Apparently, I can only do one at a time. Anyway, it's time for our. Main topic! Oh my god! Okay, back to normal.
Why did you do that?
See you, buddy.
We also got to work on your sound levels. You get loud as shit.
I get pretty loud. I'm sorry.
You were breaking the mic in the
last one. I know.
The
last one, the mic got all
You were
crunchy
peeking all
me.
the time. Peeking. So today's topic is going to be the very salacious topic of a more in-depth discussion of video game journalism ethics in light of Gamergate and all those things. So for anyone not in the know, basically a hashtag was going around Gamergate after the Zoe Quinn conspiracy. The Quinn-spiracy that was going on that we talked about in our last podcast. Where basically she's been accused of, like, being really unethical. So then the discussion turned to, well, wait, there's a lot of ethical problems in the journalism and the video game journalism field. But unfortunately, that charge was led by a bunch of, like, sexist douchebag assholes who really did make it about gender and things like that, even though they claim to not be doing it. Unfortunately, either they don't know what it means when you call somebody a whore, or they're stupid, or they're liars. Anyway, so that sparked a bunch of game developers to get together and write an open letter in support of ending harassment, which was, not... It doesn't actually do anything, but it's a great first step for the devs to show solidarity and be like, hey, we don't think this is cool. We don't appreciate anybody who does do this. So it's a good first step. I think next up is moderating comment sections, which is something that a lot of sites don't seem to want to do.
And if anybody wants to get up to date on, like, how it was proven that this Gamergate hashtag was led on purpose by certain people, go ahead and check out Zoe Quinn's Twitter. She has actually been monitoring them on their own IRC chats for about 3 weeks, and she has screenshots and lots of proof. It might give you a little more insight. And then head over to Game Ethics and be honest. Like, I think if that tag is not taken over in a negative light, and I have seen a lot of, like, dummy accounts. Like, there's one called a femme gamer, and that's definitely a dummy account that keeps trying to lead people off of that tag because it's actually positive. So just go, express your opinion. Like, if people have problems with games, the way they're developed or the way they're written about, talking about that civilly is much better than spearheading a hate campaign.
Right, a hate campaign that caused 2 female journalists to quit.
Absolutely.
That's the craziest part. In case you didn't hear, Maddie Bryce and Jen Frank both let us know on Twitter that they were stepping away from game journalism because the hatred and the harassment got that bad. And I think one of the Geek and Sundry vloggers, Scott, kind of said all the things I wanted to say in his latest video, where he was just like, this is video games. This is gaming. This is something that's supposed to be fun and a hobby, and you've turned it into something that actually is driving people his thing. And imagine I'm doing this every end of the sentence. Yes.
Praise
like
Jesus.
Yes.
Preach.
Doing that the whole video. Just imagine it. Or you can take a GIF of us doing that and put it up next to the video.
Hallelujah.
No, don't GIF that. That's so awkward. No. Oh God. No. Horrible.
Sorry.
As far as like video game journalistic ethics, I think one of the biggest problems is a lot of people don't understand how game journalism works. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about that and give a little bit of an insight into how everything works. So first of all, you should know that any article you've read, the person who wrote it did not get paid as much as that article was worth. I mean, Jared gave a great example. He got $20 for his Game Jam article that, had it
was a book and it had so many readers.
Yeah, and it had millions of shares. Like, it's crazy. But he got $20 from that, and to this day has only made $20 off of that article. And that's very common in online journalism. Can y'all hear that dog? It's being really loud. That neighbor has 3 little tiny dogs, and I want to kick every single one of them gently.
They always interrupt during the podcast.
Yeah. I know, they've been quiet all day. We've been here for 3 hours. Anyway, so the first issue is that game journalists and most writers are not paid very well. They're not paid well at all. It's barely a living wage. A lot of them, actually, when I first met Jared, every winter I would have him stay at my place because he lived in a garage with no insulation and it was freezing cold in his room. And that's a normal thing that happens to journalists and writers. So that's the very first thing you need to understand. So the second thing you need to understand is, why do people want to write about video games then? Number one, passion, because we're talking about something we love and we want to get paid for doing something we love. But number two, there's a lot of really great perks to being a game journalist. One of them is getting free games. Another one is getting to go to conventions. Another thing is getting presents or other cool things, or getting to hear about things first. There are these added things that make it worth it to be a journalist. So already we're starting off from a place where you're not going to get an objective view from most websites, because these websites have articles written by people who are hoping to get the next big game early so they can review it for you. And if they were to not get the game early, if they were to get the game when it was released, you wouldn't visit their website. You would go to a website that had already told you what they thought of the game before the game came out. So that's why it's important that game journalists get games ahead of time. Now, let's add in the other factors of this equation. We have the PR people and the video game companies themselves. PR people are the ones who control whether or not you get a game early, whether or not you get invited to the PAX parties, whether or not you get the cool swag, whether or not you get the latest press release. And that really affects whether or not your website gets visited, whether your website gets any clicks. And if your website doesn't get any clicks, then you're definitely not making any money off of your website. So PR people in the video game industry are already in a really horrible place, again, for game objectivity, because if you give a game a really horrible score, that PR company can blackball you and they won't send you games early. I know, for example, a PR company that I worked for, there was one website whose reviews I particularly trust, who they would only ever give that company the game on the day of. Them that they were giving the game on the day of, so that that website's review would go up later, that negative review would go up later than all the positive reviews, thus stopping people from not buying the game after seeing a negative review. As for the game companies themselves, they're buying advertisements and on these websites. And so, as I mentioned briefly before, someone tried to write an article about somebody on Treyarch who did something very racist to me. Treyarch called them and said, "You take that down or else," and they had to take it down. So this is the biosphere of game journalism at the moment. And really the easiest people to trust are the people whose websites are either so huge that game companies can't stop them and they are paying their journalists well enough that they don't have to worry about getting the game early, or very, very small video game websites that don't have ads on there. It's shitty in a way, but it's not unusual. That's how sports works. That's how music works. That's how movies work. That's how entertainment works. That's how all of these online journalism places function. So the whole argument of journalist ethics in video games is coming from a really weird place, because maybe it needs to be more honest with people that, hey, if you want to have the most honest review of a game, then you have to be willing to accept a few things. You have to be willing to accept that review is going to come later, you need to pay money for your website, donate, give to the gaming journalists so that they can actually get paid and can buy the games themselves. And we've already seen when somebody did a Kickstarter to get people to buy games for her, people had a really big problem with that, if you remember. So that's a little more about how all that works. And so this discussion is just very interesting because, you know, you have game journalists who are pushing back, like, I'm a human, this is not a full-time job, and I don't get paid enough, and you want me to like, risk our company not being able to review EA games anymore? Like, so it's a very tricky and strange situation. And that's why I said last time that this whole Zoe Quinn thing makes no sense. Because it's such a small, tiny little boop, boop, like, this has nothing to do with anything. This is not even an iceberg of what's wrong.
Yeah. There is a lot wrong. And I mean, like, a lot of it does reflect normal or standard journalism and mainstream journalism, and, like, you know, I went to school for that. Like, that's what my background is in, is journalism and marketing, and knowing both sides of those, like, just hearing people and the way they talk about it and how they're so surprised about it is just like, wow, really? Because that's a normal thing no matter what you do. Like, if you have a review site that just, like, shits on reviews all the time, like, you know, 9 times out of 10 people aren't going to come back to you. Like, you can get creative, like Angry Video Game Reviewer, but often his reviews are retro reviews, so he's not, like, shading on anybody. So it's hard to be completely unbiased when, you know, you're getting games for free, and the difference between getting 10 games for free and having to buy them is massive. And so it's like, that's what's screwed up about the industry, is that these game journalists can't even be honest, because if they did, they would put their already massively measly jobs at risk. And it's hard to get paid in video games. It's hard. You can't, like, you can't really make a career out of that. A select few people do, even today, you know?
Yeah. And not just, like we said, not just for journalism. Writers paid like 7 cents for every book they sell or some crazy thing like that. Like, our monetary system doesn't value writing, which, you know, then
nothing
we think, why don't kids like to write?
Aspect. Yeah. And so it's hard. It's hard to have, like, a creative or passionate medium, because no matter what you do, you don't get paid well for it. Like, not everybody's going to be Madonna, basically.
Can somebody tweet that? #RebelBase. Not everybody's going to be Madonna. Kelsey, get on that, please. That is... Well, if you take nothing else away from today...
Lesson in life. Not everyone.
Everyone's going to be Madonna. Yeah.
Not all Madonnas.
And, you know, I saw somebody in the chat was like, whoa, Indie Static didn't pay him more than that. They can't afford to pay anybody more than that. They review indie games. Where are they getting their money from? Like, that's a passion site.
Yeah.
You
know, I mean, like, these are just major things to factor in, especially with indie gaming. These people are probably working, like, 40-hour weeks at other jobs that have nothing to do with video games, and then at home they're staying up late nights developing a game that they may or may not make money on.
Right.
That often they're like $5 and under.
That's the other thing that makes me mad about this whole Zoe Quinn thing. Like, oh, she's swaying you with her vagina, like, because she doesn't have money to sway them with, unlike all of the other video game companies and the AAA companies. We don't have a sound effect for that?
Oh, I can't even hear our sound effects, so...
Yeah, and,
I'll pay more attention.
It's exactly that. Like, Nerdy But Flirty is a feminist site, and a site that talks about diversity. AAA games that know that their games are not going to do that will not send us review copies. They know better. In fact, the only way I ever get review copies from Sony is, people who work at Sony who are like, no, you need to. You need to tell them.
So,
tell the people.
Like, regardless, your best option is to make friends within the industry, and, like, managing a friendship is, you know, even harder when it's a professional relationship, you know?
Right. And that's the other thing that's going to be very strange, is, like, how much should game journalists disclose about each game developer? Because the truth is, we know a lot of game developers. When you're a journalist, you meet game developers, they share a game, you really like the game, you tell other people, hey, you should check out this game because I really like it. Well, are you telling people to check out the game because you really like it, or because you had a beer with him? Like, that gets into this really tricky, weird situation, because we are fairly closely intertwined with game developers and PR people and game company people, like corporate folks. Like, that's it's kind of one big event usually at cons and conventions, and should journalists have to stay away from anyone for risk of being possibly contaminated?
Boo! No! I don't know. I wanted to use the boo sound effects.
Did you use the boo sound effect?
Doing it right now.
Yeah, boo that shit. Boo.
I don't know. It's such a fine line that you have to walk to be ethical, and I completely think everyone should walk it. It's just, how is that line defined? And like that's what we need to work toward. Yeah. Who should be defining it? Who should be at the helm of this? Like, should it be entirely about the gamer's voice, or should it be about the industry as well? And this is something that's going to have to change from the very top. Like, everyone down here, like developers, indie developers, writers, gamers, we're down here. Like, you know, game journalists are just barely a shade above the gamer as far as like their importance to a lot of these like game like companies, like producers and publishers. Like, you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah. Well, I have to make friends. I'm not good at that. Hang on. Can you say something about similar conflict of interest claims have been made against YouTube channels? Yes. So I used to work at Maker, and we would get RFPs from companies and be like, hey, we want to do a promotion through your YouTube channels. And they would say, this is how many views we want it to get. So we would reach out to our channels that were big enough to possibly get us those views and say, hey, do you want to do this thing? Now at Maker, this process was very honest and open. It was, do you want to do this thing? Mm-hmm. Don't lie. If you do this thing and then it turns out you don't like the thing, don't talk about it. Don't participate. Mm-hmm. And you need to disclose in the description of the video that you were doing this as part of a thing. Mm-hmm. So that's how Maker worked. Places like Machinima apparently didn't work that way, and you'd have people playing a game because they got paid $500 to tell you that they liked the game and not disclose to you that they were in fact being paid for it. Mm-hmm. So I think with YouTube channels, it's always fine as long as you totally disclose that you were sent a copy of the game, or they sent you some money to play the game, or like just being honest that you're part of a promotion for a movie or a game or whatever it is. I think that's perfectly fine. YouTubers have to make money. They certainly, again, this is just like the journalists. It is a little unfair for us to have very specific demands for people that are not getting paid. Mm-hmm. Like, that's where I have the, like, because I'm a journalist, that's also the side I look at it. Like, yes, I'm not saying you need to be unethical, but I'm saying, what do you need to have some other form for us to do. Like, people complaining about advertisements on YouTube. But before that, people weren't getting paid money, or enough money, or as much money as it was worth. Don't have pop-up ads on your website. Well, then how is my website supposed to function? How am I supposed to pay my journalists? Oh, you don't pay your journalists, so you're a bad website. How am I supposed to pay my journalists if you don't like pop-up ads, advertisements, promotions, or me taking money from a game company? Like, there has to be some give and take in there. And so I think that's where this, like Catrina says, this would require a huge change. This would require sites like GameSpot and IGN and Polygon and District, all the sites that people know to go to for their game news would effectively have to shut down or stop or change completely. So, yeah, I mean, if that's what we really want, just to get more accurate game reviews, how about you rent that shit and tell me if you liked it or not?
I agree.
Just a thought.
So, we will see how that develops, because I do think, like, this whole thing that has happened over the past 2 weeks is going to make an impact on the industry. Like, this isn't something you can sweep under the rug,
Right.
Especially if people keep yelling about it. Yeah. And, that's the same with any form of activism, is, like, if you see it dying down, yell louder. If there's an issue that you want taken care of, fight and fight and fight and fight. And that's what I would love to see happen in the gaming industry, is something more positive and ethical, but still beneficial to the people who spend their time, like, doing this. Right. Because, I mean, like, not a lot of people want to actively be corrupt, Right. Nobody wants to have to agree to say, like, oh, I'll say I love your game if you give it to me.
Right. And most people don't. Most people, like, you actually just have to learn, and I guess it's instinctual to those of us in the industry, but you can look for tells. Most journalists are trying to tell you when a game actually isn't good, and they're happy to say it's good as well. That's something you can look for if you truly care about your reviews and if they really affect whether or not you get a game. A 7 is a really bad score. as crazy as that sounds, because 7 is a really high number, that's when a game journalist is trying to tell you that a game is not worth your money.
Yeah.
So there are things that journalists try to do to compromise, but they shouldn't have to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we can say that all we want, but what are they going to do instead? How are they going to make their money? How are they going to get their games? I think the pressure is being put on the wrong place. Mm-hmm. Putting the pressure on the games journalists isn't going to change game journalism. Putting the pressure on the game companies will change game journalism. Mm-hmm. And that's just because they're the people with the most power right now. Game journalists, we don't have any power. Apparently, we just sleep with people and diddle around.
Yeah, that's all game journalists do.
Game journalists do.
Diddle around with their giant vaults of money.
Yes.
Corruption money.
Why don't we have a money confetti? We could just blow money all over the screen. Look for money. Why wouldn't they just throw piles of money on us?
I don't know.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Just go.
Why? I don't even know what this.
Don't turn that off.
It sounds like.
I don't know what it was. I think it was an air horn.
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, guys, what time is it? Okay,
we got 20 minutes. We got 20 solid, 19
Let's
solid
read some
minutes.
more questions.
Okay, questions. Okay. We did get a lot.
This is my room.
Yes.
This is my bookcase from IKEA that I really love. This is a picture of me with Davis from Warp Zone and Beyonce. Beyonce is fake. And there's a picture of me with Akeem from Geek Eccentric Vlogs.
Yay!
And this is, can you see these? These are pictures of me with my other video game developer friends. We are obviously not allowed to write about their games because that's a conflict of interest. I think fun. Isabella's boobs. This is me with the monkey that attacked me. I'm not making this up. Far Cry 3 had an E3 party where they had a monkey.
Wow.
And that monkey was I was like 14th in line. Like, I was really far back in line. Mm-hmm. And this monkey got on everybody's shoulder, didn't even pay those people any fucking attention. They took the picture. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm really nervous about taking a picture with this monkey. And my friends were like, look at the monkey. He's being fine. Like, all these people are going, obviously he's not going to hurt you. So we finally get up there, and I'm like, all right, you're right. I've seen this monkey is fine. He's not even paying attention to people. Mm-hmm. This monkey got a hold of me, grabbed onto me, started fiddling and scratching and trying to dig into my hair. So I scream, and instinctually, apparently, I started to run away. And so the handler was like, please don't run. And like, he's like, he likes hair a lot. And I'm like, every human in this line had hair.
Yes, my hair is indeed blue. It's
don't interrupt my monkey story.
I'm sorry, I'm just answering the question. The lighting isn't showing it as very blue, but it is very blue in real life. Excuse me, John Rob Tom. Pets are great.
What did John
Namely
Rob
cats.
Well, that's why cats are great.
That's why you don't own a monkey. Don't own monkeys.
Monkeys are terrifying.
Don't own a fucking monkey, dude.
I put out an indie game and no one had sex with me in exchange for the review. I feel cheated. You should. I feel cheated. You obviously are doing it wrong.
Obviously, that's not how the industry works.
Doing it wrong.
We missed a couple.
For the honor of Grayskull. You're my Swiftwind. I was turning you from Spirit into Swiftwind. Have you not seen She-Ra? Because I have all the DVDs.
I've seen She-Ra, but I'm okay with watching it again.
I have all the DVDs of She-Ra and He-Man.
Well, you know what I'm going to do now as we close out our podcast.
No.
Over the next 17 or 18 minutes.
We're going to talk to
people. Well, let's do a fucking Q&A. Hey, you guys should ask us some questions now. Also, how do you like the new setup? Is it working for you? Like, is this... Because I would like to develop this more into, like, some kind of show, and we'll have more stuff, and we'll have guests on. We can, like, beam them in on Skype. It'll be really cool. So, yeah, I don't know.
He fell and I didn't even smack him this time. Y'all really missed it, though. We're thinking about doing a little extra bonus video for you guys, which is just us reacting to the Playroom. Because, earlier Katrina came in from nowhere and punched the shit out of this, and it was hilarious, and we were underwater and panicking.
Oh, yeah.
I think you guys would probably enjoy our silly antics.
Yes. I think it'll work.
She-Ra's...
Look.
Oh, no, we're not going...
Oh, my God!
Why is this happening?
Okay, see, that's
what do you think of the new 3DS, the new 3DS XL? I think it's another crazy cash grab, and I'm not getting it.
Yes, and that is saying a lot because I love my 3DS, but I've also kept it for a very long time, and I plan on keeping it for a very long time. And, it
hurt me to give up my DS for a 3DS because I had a Dragon Ball Z Shenron cover, and it was so dope. And it would have been even doper on my blueberry, bubblegum pink 3DS.
There's
Would have been so dope.
See, that's like the pull for me, is I saw those new 3DSs, and then they're like, also, we made 30 fucking cases, and they're the cutest cases in the whole world.
Is that literally what they said? Also, by now, we made 30 fucking cases! Just for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Press release.
One-time deal, 30 fucking cases. Act now.
Nintendo releases 30
we are
fucking cases.
standing by the phone.
Reggie hand delivers these fucking cases to your house.
Thoughts on The Sims 4. I am not going to be playing The Sims 4. Like I said, I did the demo. As they keep suggesting and that they show, like, oh, you just drag here, boy. No, it's actually not as instinctually easy. I found the Sims 3 system way easier to use.
Somebody just brought up.
Stop interrupting me when I'm answering a question.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Gosh, you're rude as shit.
So fucking rude. So fucking rude.
Anyway, and also it looks like it has a lot less features than Sims 3, even without the DLC that I have added on to the Sims 3. I play 4 hours of Sims 3 every night. That ain't about to stop. Okay, now you can answer a question.
Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Now I'm interrupting Catrina to get her back.
Okay, that's cool. So, Supergirl was just brought up, and I would like to talk about that because, like last week there was a rumor that it's in development. This week DC has confirmed that it is in development, but it's not joining the CW shows, so it's not in the same universe as Arrow and the Flasher, and it's going to be on NBC with Constantine. And it's pretty interesting how DC is, like, spacing their shows out. Like, Gotham is on Fox, and after that it's going to go straight to Netflix. And then you have...
Can we talk about Gotham real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about Gotham.
Why couldn't y'all just give him a mustache? Would it have been that hard to give that man a mustache? No, he's not handsome with a mustache. Seriously? He can't be your leading man with a motherfucking mustache?
I like the comics that, like, predict the end of Gotham where he earns his mustache. Like, instead of a bag or a badge or a trophy, he gets
gets just a mustache.
Just like this box at the police academy, like the themes of do. Okay, anyway, they like
or
present
glasses.
him.
He couldn't have
no glasses.
Y'all took
no
both of them away.
stashes.
Was he wearing contacts in the past? What the fuck, guys?
So, I have hope for Supergirl because, as opposed to the way you guys may think it will be, I think they could develop it into the next Buffy if they try hard enough.
They
like, well, you know what? I miss that era of TV where we had like a bunch of like young women like kicking ass.
It was the girl power, and people were making fun of it. I remember like afterwards, we were like, "Oh, girl power!" I remember that, but like. Yeah, as a girl, I remember that. It was great. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. And I liked having people like Xena and Buffy to watch on TV being, like, kick-ass. And, in fact, it has ruined me for movies nowadays because movies back in the 80s even had, like, more awesome female leads and badass women than we have right now. And I'm constantly feeling like, why couldn't this girl just have, beat that bad guy instead of needing to be saved by this guy, although she's supposed to be a warrior? What the Why? Korra. We should talk about Korra.
Oh, Korra.
We didn't talk about it.
So that ended.
Korra, season 3? Are we already at season 3?
We're on, this was season 3.
Season 3 ended, and I have changed my mind. Those of you who know me very well know that I hated Korra so hard. And season 2 I was only okay with because half of it took place in another world that I quite enjoyed. So season 3, they finally got it right. I now am totally on board with Korra, and I can't wait.
Great season.
Yeah, it was an amazing season, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah, and the way it ended was the best way.
Oh, man.
Like, oh, you like this show now? Oh, you like this show? Oh, let me go ahead and smash your heart.
Also, I now ship Korra and Asami even harder than before. If you
holy shit.
If you need anything.
No, I'm upset. No, I'm upset. No.
Are you being correct?
Yes. No, I'm upset. I can't bend it.
I need a moment. Oh no, my She-Ra hat is going off. Hey guys, I also have Skittles. 20 years since a strong female character-based show. I know, right? Buffy was 20 years ago.
That's some shit. So Systems Nominal has a question. Shout out any game studios that are setting a good example in the industry.
A lot of indie game studios.
A lot of indie game studios. Hey, did you guys see the I Play BioWare hashtag? Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It was just randomly started, and it was just people saying nice shit about why they play BioWare and like.
Love BioWare.
Yeah, and it was a really nice hashtag, and like all the BioWare developers were like in it, and like half of them were like, I'm crying, like, and I was like, this is what we need. Like,
I love BioWare because even when they fail, they didn't like blame it on us. They didn't say, oh, well, you just don't get our artistic license and you suck and we're right, you're wrong. They were like, all right, get in the community forums and tell us what you think. And hey, let's get some groups together. Let's get some focus groups together. Let's call around. Let's send you presents for being a part of this focus group. Let's find out what we can do to make this next game better. And they did it.
Yep.
Even with the monstrous EA constantly trying to turn them into the devil, BioWare is like, good guy BioWare. And I always get to play a female character. BioWare has spoiled me as well. I really don't like playing games where I can't be a female.
Yep.
Because of BioWare.
And it sucks that is spoiling. It should just be normal. Like we would have a completely different podcast if things were the way they're supposed to be. It would probably be more yelling. I think. Let's see. Dad had a question. What are your views on Star Wars Rebels? I've seen the trailers, and it took me a really long time to get into Clone Wars because I just honestly, and people will kill me for this, but I don't like Anakin as a character. It wasn't even Hayden Christensen. It was just, wow, this guy is a giant baby. He is fucking married to like this hot ass senator. She's like got her life together, and he's just sitting there crying and being a little baby. And so I never liked Anakin all that much. So I fell off the Clone Wars pretty early. I should go watch it again because some of the canon characters.
You know what
mentioned.
I enjoy to do? I let Aaron pick what episodes we watch.
Oh no!
And
okay.
he picks episodes that are good.
Oh okay.
So what you may want to do is like
just go
ask people what are some of their favorite episodes and just go out of order and watch the good, because the good episodes are really good for Clone Wars, because I've now watched a ton of Clone Wars because of that.
Yeah.
But if I had just tried to watch it straight through, I would have been able to do it.
But Rebels looks like a lot of fun. Just a little quick summary about Star Wars Rebels. It takes place directly after, well, not directly, but like it's the bridge between Clone Wars and A New Hope. And it's about like this band of little rebels who are essentially like being smugglers and doing like small time like jobs to further like the rebellion that's like developing now. I think it looks really cool. The cast is nice and diverse, and I like that. The girls are really neat. I really like that. Like what's her name?
Oh, what is this flavor? Oh.
But yeah, that's what I think of that. Yes.
Orange cream. Ugh. Oh, it's horrible. Don't eat orange cream.
Ew, I don't like orange cream.
I'm going to get back to a strawberry smoothie. All right, now we can it's time for find a sound effect.
It's time to end the podcast very soon.
Not yet.
Okay, not
Don't
yet.
tell them that. They're going to leave.
You
don't
leave. Warn me before you want to do things, by the way.
Dude, 10 minutes till the end of the podcast. We should have a sound effect for chick pics.
And we will.
I didn't think I had to tell you this.
Excuse me.
Like,
it's not 10 minutes, first off. It's 7 minutes. So, you know, give me a fucking break, dude.
Give her a break, she says.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. Y'all talking about Farscape.
Oh, wow.
I do quite enjoy Farscape. I have every single episode of Farscape on my computer. It took like a month to download onto my computer from a place I will not name.
Okay.
Are we ready?
So, we're ready. I hope that this sound plays properly, because I can't hear it. So, I'm going to use the wonderful trumpet sound.
All right.
Ready? So it's time for Chick Picks! Ah! Yay!
Okay, so for anybody new, Chick Picks is the section where we tell you what we want you to check out this week, because we checked out a lot of things for you. My first is The Wicked and the Divine.
Yes!
Oh shit! I should have grabbed it so I could show you the cover. I'm sorry, people. It's all the way over there, and there's too many wires between me.
I can't find it.
It's over on the other side of the bookcase. But anyway, The Wicked and Divine is by the same guy who did Young Avengers, which you guys will remember. I also really, 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 really loved. And it's the one where you've probably seen the covers where it's some beautiful person with paint color all over their eye here, or paint here, and it's just so pretty. And all of the important God characters are based on current pop stars. So I was reading it, I was like, is this Rihanna? And that's when somebody told me, and I was like, oh wait, this is Florence and the Machine. And they were like, oh yeah, they said she's in there too. So I was like, I can totally tell. Anyway, so what it is it's about an alternate world where every certain number of years, gods come to Earth and they perform concerts and people go to them. And it's really weird and really strange. We're only 3 books in, and I'm just 120,000% in love with it. A, because I love mythology. B, because I love pretty things.
Cool.
Oh, and the main character is a biracial girl.
Yay!
Her mama's white, her daddy's black. She got little freckles and shit. I just love it so much. And multicolored hair is so alternative. And yeah, like I said, so far I'm really loving it. Do you want to go back and forth like we did last time?
Yeah, let's do that. So my first pick it's a little popular now actually, but Sarah had no comment on it, so I assume she doesn't know about it. This is an indie title called Five Nights at Freddy's, and if you are into, I don't necessarily want to say horror, it's a scary ass game, but there's no gore in it. The fear is built completely off of suspense, and the only scare you get is the one that happens when you're about to die, and that's it. And it's basically you take the night shift at this Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant, and you're the security guard, and you listen to a tape, and the past night shift guy who left is like, so the animatronics come to life at night, and you just need to start shifting all the doors around so that they never come into your room, because if they do, they will stuff you and chop you up and put you into a suit, and you will fucking die. So yeah, oh my god, it's the scariest freaking thing. I haven't even played it yet. That's how much of a baby I am. I watched Markiplier's playthrough.
Markiplier! Markiplier! Did y'all know I used to channel?
Yay! Markiplier! Yay! Look, the applause button is on it. Yay!
I really like his videos. I've never watched him. You should check him out.
Yeah.
Hey, DCD.
His playthrough was really funny, and it was also really terrifying to watch, which is that's something that doesn't happen often with me if I watch a horror game that's being played by someone.
So I used to watch Markiplier's videos as part of my job, and I would watch his amnesia videos. And so my hands were always below my desk, on my lap, because I'm watching a video. I had bruised knuckles almost every day from jumping and slamming my knuckles into the bottom of the table. And it was so embarrassing because I didn't work in an office. Our layout was wide open at Baker. And so people would see me and just laugh. And they'd be like, oh, Sarah, what you doing? I'm like, no, nothing. Oh, my God, it's so scary. Look, here's another.
Okay.
Was a heart.
So I think, I'm sorry.
Oh, so you did Five Nights at Freddy. My turn.
Yes.
Espionage Nails, who you know I support a lot. I still have a little remnant of the kitty on me right now. This is a kitty cat. It's almost done.
It's a kitty cat.
It's falling off, so don't judge this. This has been on since Comic-Con. Anyway, Espionage Nails is this geeky nail company that makes stickers for your nails so you don't have to paint them all fancy, and they're pages from books. All kinds of really cool shit. I love them to death. We've reviewed their stuff. We've done giveaways. You can go to nerdybutflirty.com and check it out. Anyway, they are doing a second Kickstarter for even more awesome stuff, and one of the ones I saw was Carol Danvers' fucking nails.
What?
My face. What? And I know for a fact they're going to do Borderlands, and I know for a fact that another video game company approached them at Comic-Con, and I can't tell anybody about it, but I was there when it happened, and I was like, oh, girls, y'all about to be famous. Yay! Anyway, so please go and support their Kickstarter if you would like some geeky nails, or if you know a friend who would like some geeky nails, and you want to help support their option to get geeky nails. Also, please don't think this is just for girls, because plenty of dudes rock these nails. We got pictures of Kevin Eastman wearing them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a bunch of people, of course, they can't think of them right now, but they're really cool. You can put some Ninja Turtle nails on and be like, I'm still a man. It doesn't hurt your masculinity, dudes. Okay, your turn again.
Okay, so we have a Tumblr officially for the Rebel Base podcast. It is rebelbasedpodcast.tumblr.com, and we'll be updating it as if it were an actual blog. I thought it would be kind of cool to give this place a little home, away from home on Nerdy But Flirty, and kind of make it its own thing in a way that you guys can, like, interact with us. You can submit asks, you can submit, like, fan art or some cool geeky finds that you stumble across on the internet. We are feminist focused, but if you come across a really cool craft or you make one, like, let us share it, because fucking heck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
And you should totally make fan art of us. If you can't draw a picture based on this
right here,
and Goku's face being tucked under my breast, like, I
don't know
you're
who
a
you
failure
are.
as an artist.
I drew something today. It was awesome, I guess.
Have you guys seen the Photoshop she made of us as Groot and Rocket?
I was so proud of that.
I'm really proud of it too. It makes me really happy.
And then my ads from this past week. I thought I'd go with aesthetically pleasing. Maybe next week I might go with
I think you should do a
horror
comic
movie
books,
murder scene.
movie.
Yeah, comic books.
But
Yeah,
add that to the list.
Okay.
Also, I see somebody saying, I'm surprised Markiplier's name hasn't broken because you dropped us so much. So let me drop some other names. I also used to manage I Am Cheap, really adorable. Lucajin, also really funny. She really likes tacos. Comic Book Girl 19, she's really fucking amazing. The J-Wits, if you like Pokemon. Official Shofu, if you like Pokemon and battle raps. Munching Orange, if you like Minecraft. Minecrafted, if you like Minecraft. I can keep going. I love all those people too.
You just got served.
In your
Oh,
face.
that sound effect
You got a
didn't
sound
play.
effect for it?
Oh.
I don't know what the
okay.
sound effect was.
It was a just scratch.
So she's at our Tumblr, so I'm next. Extra Life is coming up. You should sign up and get a team together and raise some money.
Yes. Do you want to do
touching
one?
my fucking lamp, you
I'm
crazy
sorry. I'm
bitch.
very passionate about Extra Life. We should do an Extra Life.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Marathon. Yeah.
Okay.
When is that?
You should write that down.
I will.
It's in November, I believe, but you
Perfect.
should, like, start, like, getting ready and sign up and get your plan in place and start telling people about it. You can join some people's groups, or you can form your group. The vloggers may do a group again this year, the Geek and Sundry vloggers. I coordinated that last year, but I am no longer the person who has to do that.
Yay!
So, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah. We'll
It's for a great
them.
cause. It's for raising money for Children's Miracle hospitals, wherever you live. You pick which hospital you want to donate to. It's really cool.
So,
All right, last chick pick.
My last chick pick has to do with Star Wars Rebels, the latest book and first official installment of the new expanded universe has come out. It's called A New Dawn, not to be confused with the Twilight one, and it's about the two of the main protagonists from Star Wars Rebels. There's a runaway Jedi and an amazing.
It's a runaway Jedi.
There's a new concept.
Runaway Jedi.
There's a
It's
new
like
concept.
the runaway bride, but he's got his lightsaber trailing behind him instead of a bouquet.
And it's also about a badass Twilight.
It's also about a
pilot lady.
Twilight's my favorite.
Yes.
I wanted to be
There
whenever
are like
since I'm
a
little.
bunch of them in that show. But
Ayla Secura was so dope. She didn't deserve to die that way. That was so stupid how they killed her in the movie. She would have gone out way cooler.
All right. So that's it for our chick picks. It is 9:03.
Correct. One last thing I want to say. I told you guys about the 100,000 Kingdoms, and I think I told you about the Tower Lord. I just finished reading the Masked Empire. Masked? Why is that word so hard to say? Masked Empire. Which is another Dragon Age book, and honestly, I only recommend it if you're a really hardcore Dragon Age fan. It doesn't get good until it's almost over.
All right.
Just an update in case you
So, I have been Catrina. Catrina!
And I have been Sarah the Rebel.
Thank you for tuning in to Rebel Base podcast. Keep using the hashtag Let's Talk, and stay tuned because Sarah and I are going to podcast or broadcast again and figure out this PlayStation AR studio.
We're going to do it in like 10 minutes.
We're going to do it
get a little
like
drunk.
10 minutes. Give us just come back or stay there and go to the bathroom or something and
Piss
we'll be back.
in your pants right
poop.
now. Bye.
Bye!
I don't know how to stop this broadcast.